Hello, and welcome to a broken binding unboxing. Not only is it a broken binding unboxing, but it's one where we don't have a wafer sticker keeping it closed. We have a strip of tape. And the strip of tape was mostly cut already, but you know what? Mostly cut. It's not the same thing as fully cut, so it was secure. I mean, even with the wafer stickers, it's never been fully cut. I mean, even when they've been cut, but the box has been intact. Anyways, much like the other broken bindings, this one's got a lot of bubble wrap on it to protect the book. This is the 6th title in their subscription series, the 3rd title in the Winnowing Flame by Jen Williams. This is the Poison Song, the broken binding subscription. When your world has been at war forever, how do you know peace? Anyways, I still haven't read the first 2 titles. I'm a little backlogged in my books. As they say, collecting books and reading books are 2 completely different hobbies. And, yeah, it shows. Someone's remarked that it's kind of goofy that I untie my books this way. But you know what? It's part of the experience. I have seen photos online. They're doing different wrapping styles on their future titles to help protect them in transit. And my copies haven't really been damaged in transit. It's, they're fancy trade editions. It's the sad way of putting it, but that's the true way of putting it. But they hold up pretty well. The Poison Song by Jen Williams. Having not read the first 2, I can't give you an in-depth description of the 3rd one, but that's going to happen with any trilogy, especially if you haven't read the first 2. I'd just be spoiling for you anyways, right? So I'm doing this for your behalf. Anyways, we have our plain sprayed edges. Plain sounds insulting. They're still very nice. I like sprayed edges. It's really cool when you actually have the patterned edges, which we've seen before, and we will see again in the future. But now with the next series is sprayed as well. So just like the other titles, we'll get to that cover in a second. Nice, just kind of trade dust jacket as one would expect. But on the book itself, on the boards, look at that foil job. That's nice. Is that a war beast? I don't know. This series features war beasts. But look at that sprayed cover. So the nation is under attack by another nation. I don't know. You know the fantasy stick. A nation's under attack by another nation. That's every fantasy title ever. But you know what? I'm going to keep buying them. There's Jen Williams, number 805 out of 1500. My copy matches the previous 2 titles. I mentioned that because some people have gotten their books and they haven't matched. So they had a couple hiccups along the way with the broken binding. This is the August edition. I'm a little late to the party. It's now September. Oh well, what are you going to do about it? I also saw online Jen Williams doodled little dragons in their books for one of the fans, and that's really cool. I did not get a dragon doodle, but I'm fine with that. I also feel like I shouldn't ask for a dragon doodle because I haven't read her book yet. That would be insulting to Jen Williams, and I apologize, Jen. I'm going to read your books. I'm going to love them. I'm sure I will. Jennifer Williams. Anyways, the nation is under attack. I know in the last book, they were trying to train these ancient war beasts that had the memories of past lives, but they didn't quite have the memories yet, which was part of a problem. It's slightly problematic when your war beasts don't know how to war. So they had to, got some dirty language there. You got a swear word. Well, the war beasts didn't know how to war, so now, presumably the war beasts do know how to war, and now they're off to war. And somebody pointed it out. I don't have the previous 2 titles here in front of me, but someone pointed out that the chapter numbers are not uniform, which kind of bugs me. One of the previous titles had numeric, like it was just chapter, the number 2, the number 8. This one is spelled out, 28. So if that bugs you, I'm sorry. I almost wonder if it was intentional. It probably wasn't, but I had unboxed the Gormenghast Trilogy by Mervyn Peake from Folio Society, which is on the channel. And the 3 volumes in that all use different stylings. And I noticed that in the video, but I think that was very much intentional. This, I don't know if it was intentional. Probably not. Feels like it's very big text. I don't know why. Maybe that's a UK Books thing. Maybe it's large print to help my old aging eyes. Who knows? I'm not going to complain. Makes the book seem a little bit bigger than it is. Not that it's a problem. If it's a good fantasy title, it's going to drag me in. I was reading the reviews on this. Got a little... Look at that. Good as new. Corner fell over. I was reading the reviews on this, and it got some very high praise, being the conclusion. They said it was a very fitting conclusion. Unfortunately, the spine, because it's kind of how UK trade editions are, just kind of glued. A little disappointing. The broken binding does, in fact, might have a broken binding, which is kind of prophetic and pathetic. But I enjoy it anyways. It's a fancy trade edition. It's a signed trade edition. I'm going to buy the hell out of it. I'm here for that subscription. The subscription is fantasy-based, and I'm all for it. But yeah, no, I wish it'd be cool if it was like a sewn binding. But I know that the state of just UK trade novels in general don't really do that. So that is not really marks against the broken binding. That's just, it is what it is. Here in the U.S., we get spoiled with Suntup. We get spoiled with Centipede Press. All these other small presses. Not that they really compare to Broken Binding. It's not what Broken Binding is. Broken Binding is very much it's not really a small press. It's a bookstore. It's a bookstore that does unique and specialized editions. I guess the best comparison one could get to a U.S. one is maybe like a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. The best one I can give you is like Waterstones. Waterstones? Oh my god. What the heck is the name? This is a brain fart on camera. This is why I need the large text. It begins with a W. It's not Waterstones. Waterstones is a bar and grill. And I'm completely drawing a blank on the name. They had the indispensable one. You're yelling at me in the comments. They had the indispensable box set where they were a bookstore their bookstore out in Portland, Oregon. And the indispensable box set went on hiatus like last year, and now they've completely gone out of my mind. Oh, wow, it's so sad. But this kind of reminds me of those indispensable box sets. Kind of like, you might get with like a Nightworms box set. It's a specialized version of a book. It might just be signed, like this one is. This one, broken binding, use nice little sprayed edges or stenciled edges to put theirs above and beyond the regular trade edition. But it is just a trade edition. But there is a wait list for... I feel like it sounds like I'm just nagging on the broken binding. I am not. I love this. I love this subscription. It's fantastic. I love me some Joe Abercrombie. I was very happy with those first 3 titles. Very happy with the Jen Williams titles because I've never read Jen Williams. It's a great way of getting introduced to authors you don't know. So I apologize if it sounds like I'm nagging on them. I'm not. There is a wait list to get onto the subscription. But you can still buy, not necessarily the subscription books, although they said they'll have extra copies available at the end of the titles. But there are exclusive titles that you can still buy without being subscribed, both through the Broken Bindings main website and brokenbindingsub.com, which has other unique titles. Anyways, very, very cool. Very much looking forward to what's going on next. It's really like it's like a overglued or something. I'm not nagging on him. I love it. I come off as naggy. I apologize for that because it's not what I'm going for. Anyways, very much looking forward to seeing what the subscription does next, because right now, this being Title 6, that first year of the subscription is halfway over. That's crazy. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.